Trump challenges Samuel L. Jackson to an IQ test, but in just 13 seconds, Jackson asks one question that shuts him down completely. What happened next? You won't believe it. In the dazzling, high-octane world of celebrity feuds, few rivalries have simmered as long or as hot as the one between Donald Trump and Samuel L. Jackson. It started years ago on a golf course, fueled by accusations of cheating and insults about who was boring. But this week, the simmering tension boiled over into a full-blown, televised catastrophe. The title of this story captures that moment of unscripted brilliance. Trump demands an IQ test. 13 seconds later, Samuel L. Jackson asks one question that leaves him stumped. In a showdown that felt less like a political debate and more like a scene from a Tarantino movie, the former president tried to bully the coolest man in Hollywood, only to be silenced by a single devastating question that no amount of bluster could answer. The stage was set on Jimmy Kimmel Live, but the atmosphere was anything but comedic. The studio was tense, the air thick with anticipation. Donald Trump, appearing via satellite from Mar-a-Lago, had called into the show to set the record straight after Samuel L. Jackson had made a joke about Trump's golf game earlier in the week. Trump was in rare form, red-faced, animated, and shouting over the host.
Somebody did send me something today that said Trump said he didn't know me.
He said he didn't know you. I actually have his
tweet
tweet right here.
Tweet.
This is very exciting. So there you go. It says, I don't know Samuel L. Jackson to best of my knowledge, haven't played golf with him, and think he does too many TV commercials. Boring, not a fan.
Not a bad thing.
This guy, Samuel L. Jackson, Trump bellowed, his voice booming through the studio monitors. He's a lightweight. He does too many commercials. He says I cheat at golf. I never cheat. I'm the best golfer. I win club championships. He's just angry because he's not a winner. And you know what? He's not very smart. I have a much higher IQ. Much higher. I challenge him right now. Let's take a test. A cognitive test, an IQ test. I'll ace it, and he'll fail, just like his movies. The audience booed, but then the camera cut to the guest chair. Sitting there, cool as ice in a Kangol hat and a velvet blazer, was Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't shout. He didn't stand up. He just leaned back, fixed his signature intense gaze on the screen, and let a slow, dangerous smile spread across his face. Mr. Trump, Jackson said, his voice a low rumble that instantly silenced the room. You talk a lot about winning. You talk a lot about genius, and you want to have a test? I'm right here. Let's do it, Trump shouted, thinking he had the upper hand. Bring out the doctors. I'm ready. We don't need doctors, Donnie, Jackson interrupted, the nickname landing like a slap. We just need 13 seconds, because that's about as long as your attention span lasts.
I asked the doctor, I said, is there some kind of a cognitive test that I could take? Because I've been hearing about it, because I want to shut these people up. They're fake news. They make up stories. I mean, like, I'll do an interview with you. I didn't say you can't ask me about this. I say ask me anything. I did one with Chris Wallace. He was nice enough to say.
The crowd gasped. Jackson leaned forward, his eyes locking onto the camera lens as if staring directly into Trump's soul. You claim you know everything. You claim you're the smartest man to ever live in the White House. So before we get to the complex math and the shape rotation, let's start with something simple, something a patriot like you should know by heart. Jackson pulled a single playing card from his pocket, an ace of spades, and flipped it over. On the back was a single sentence. Mr. President, Jackson said, his voice dropping to that iconic, menacing whisper. Can you tell the American people, without looking at a teleprompter, what the 14th Amendment of the Constitution actually says? The clock starts. Trump's confident smirk vanished. His eyes darted to the side, looking for an aide, a note, anything.
Will you be tweeting differently once you board the Air Force One?
No, that's other people that do that. I don't. I'm very consistent. I'm a very stable genius.
Well, the 14th Amendment, Trump stammered, his bluster replaced by a sudden, frantic stalling. It's very powerful. It's about the country. It's a very important amendment, maybe the most important, frankly. No summary, Donald, Jackson said, his voice cutting through the nonsense. What does it say?
I had no idea, and
Trump
I had my
froze.
assistant
The
call,
silence
and
was deafening. He opened his mouth, but only a dry rasp came out. He didn't know. The man who claimed to protect the Constitution couldn't cite the very amendment that defines citizenship and disqualifies insurrectionists from office. The 13 seconds were up. Trump was staring blankly at the camera, sweat beading on his upper lip. He had been stumped. Jackson sat back, satisfied. That's what I thought, he said, coolly checking his watch. Section 3. No person shall hold any office who, having previously taken an oath, shall have engaged in insurrection or
And
rebellion
tell 'em
against the
I don't
same.
really
Jackson
belong to
looked
that
back
club
at
and
the
I haven't
screen,
been there.
delivering the final line with the weight of a judge passing sentence.